Culture Warrior segment tonight, an MTV special called No Easy Decision has been criticized by some as glorifying abortion.
Although controversial to some, abortion is one of the 3 viable options, and it's amongst the safest, most common medical procedures in the U.S. So we thought it was important for us to discuss.
I just want women and girls to know that, you know, you're not alone, like how they're saying, and like, that's a tough decision. That's the toughest decision I've ever had to make. And I mean, don't hide behind closed doors because you feel like society not going to take it the way that they should. You have to talk about it, and it's okay to cry about it, and it's okay to feel your emotions that you feel.
Well, I want to thank you all for sharing your stories and elevating this conversation and allowing this conversation to be about what's real in people's lives. Oh, you guys are so courageous. You're so courageous.
Pinsky directing that comment to the girls who did abort. And here is a memo to Dr. Drew. Abortion not very safe for the fetus. Joining us now from Washington, Fox News analyst Margaret Hoover, and here in the studio, Fox and Friends co-anchor Gretchen Carlson. All right, Carlson, now look, it's obvious that Pinsky, who I don't even know, is glorifying abortion. It's obvious to me. Now, maybe I'm reading it wrong, but his body language, the words he chooses, the inflections and all of that, one of the safest procedures. You know what I'm saying to myself? This isn't some kind of, you know, elbow surgery. It rubbed me the wrong way. You say?
All right, I watched the entire episode because I thought it was important to give you my point of view.
Right.
I'm going to come across, I know this is going to surprise you because I'm usually pretty opinionated, I'm going to call this neutral.
Because well, what about that clip we just showed?
I don't, yes, he was melodramatic. Okay?
Melodramatic.
I believe he was melodramatic. I don't think he's actually been on Fox and Friends.
He's a smart guy.
He is, but I don't think he did a great job in hosting this. But you know what? I didn't pay attention to him. Because what I paid attention to was the story of this young girl, the African-American girl there. Let me tell you something. I was compelled by this story. Because this was not a cavalier decision that this young woman made.
I don't think, nobody's saying that these young women make these decisions lightly. But some of them have been pregnant 2 and 3 times by the time they're 16 or 17. All right? So there's a responsibility here that isn't addressed in this documentary at all.
They do address the fact that she did not get the shot she was supposed to get that was supposed to serve as the contraceptive.
This is the same person they just called courageous.
Yeah, I know, and I'm not.
Come on.
But I think you're mixing apples and oranges in a way because you're commenting on Drew Pinsky instead of the actual content.
I'm commenting on the tone of the presentation that kids watching it pick up.
But it's 11:30 at night.
If you get pregnant at 16, you're irresponsible. Did that message come through to you? Thank you. Carl, what do you say, Hoover? Did that message come through to you?
I think, no. Bill, I think you are misreading this, and I just, for the sake of your viewers, because I did watch the whole thing like Gretchen did,
Good.
He was not calling these girls courageous for having an abortion. He was calling them courageous for coming on television and describing the traumatic and painful
that's a legitimate point. Okay,
and
I'm glad you said that, Margaret. I'm glad you said that. Okay, so that puts it into...
Okay, good.
Well, but wait. That point is picked up by you and it's picked up by Gretchen, both intelligent, college-educated women who know what's going on. Are you telling me that the tone that this Pinsky takes is being picked up by 16 and 17-year-olds to the extent that you're picking it up?
Yes, I am, because you know what? And I will tell you also, the Christian Science Monitor has done an in-depth study about the entire series that he's done, not just this one special, which was the only episode that was ever about an abortion. All of the other episodes about 16 and pregnant are about people who keep their babies.
What we're talking about is
this. But the majority of people who watch this, 82% of them coming away saying that this program gives them a far deeper understanding of the reality, the complexity, and the really difficult time it is to have
let's face it, in 2011, abortion is legal in our society. We now live in an environment where reality shows showcase what real people go through, right or wrong. And so I felt like this actually would deter young people if they actually watch this in its entirety, that it might work as a deterrent. And in fact, last year, for the first time in 7 decades, teen pregnancy went down.
I think that's more because of the public school, and all the options available to these kids not to get pregnant. Did you take away the same thing, Hoover, that Carlson took away, that a kid watching this would be less inclined to have an abortion? Did you take that away?
Yes, and here's why. Yes, and here's why. If you watch the whole episode, you show that even all the way through the beginning, through the middle, to the end, she is actually not proud or happy or glorifying her decision at all. She is deeply conflicted about it. She doesn't feel like she necessarily made the right decision. She does feel certain regrets, but she does feel like she made the right decision for her family. They couldn't afford their first child. 1 out of 3 teen moms go ahead and get pregnant again, and they knew they had done everything they could to barely get through. She graduated from high school. She's going to college.
Look, you guys might be right, and I might be wrong on this. I favor a tough love presentation when it comes to the subject of abortion. That's what I favor. I favor telling kids, if you get pregnant and you're a teenager and cannot support that baby, that is irresponsible, and you may have to kill a potential human being because of that. That's the way I favor presenting the issue.
And
Last word, go ahead.
I do have to say that as I watched this very emotional discussion, the one thing that kept coming into my mind was, I wish she would have had this baby and given it up for adoption.
That's right. That would be what I would favor,
that.
but you know, I can't put myself in other people's shoes. That's not fair of me to do. All right, ladies, very interesting. Thank you very much. Plenty more ahead as a factor.